Beautiful day. Beautiful truck here. Beautiful truck here. Project complete. And a whole lot more. We're going to tell you all about it here in just a little bit. Let's roll it, AJ. So we had a customer come in for a box truck appraisal. David's getting a bunch of stuff out across the street, and box trucks, work trucks, vans, a couple of square bodies. But also, we have got an exciting police story that I don't know. Before we finish this video, I'll see how much of it I can share. I hope I can share some of it, but I give my shout out to the police for sure for all you do. Let's get this thing rolling, AJ. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot going on today. We have everybody here. AJ's back. He had an allergic reaction, so he was out yesterday. Back in full-fledged today. Trista's here all day. Calvin's here all day. David's here all day. Alvin's here all day. We even got John Dowdy knocking out some dings and dents and some stripes today. It's going to be a good friggin' day. Here's a Chevy that you guys may recognize. We sold it probably about a month now. Ordered a bunch of stuff in for this customer. When he purchased it, he said, you know, I love the truck. Actually, he was beyond in love with it. And when he came back today, he's even happier. He said he's been driving it around. He's an old school guy. He's had plenty of trucks in his life. He cannot believe how nice the truck drives and rides, especially on the Swampers. But one thing that we did get ordered for him was an AC system. So this truck, go ahead and do a before and after. We'll be getting an AC system. We'll be getting a stereo, so you can show the old school stereo. And it's not going to look much different, but we're going to save this little clip as a before and after. We're going to put it in video today, but we'll be saving it for before and after. And a couple of little punch lists. One weird thing with this truck, didn't even have a dome light. Next time you guys see it, it's going to even have a dome light. There you go. Got to get out of that sun. So, a few little things. Awesome truck. Manual shift, 1.0 package, 16 wides, 35s. Sounds great. We're also going to try to tweak his tune a little bit. I hope we don't kick ourselves for doing that, but I'm going to let TJ play. He likes messing with these computers. If you didn't catch it while we were in there, this truck actually has a little display computer on the dash for the fuel injection system. And with fuel injection does not always come perfection. Even though it has an oxygen sensor system and a few other things, it's not always perfect. Matter of fact, Daniel has run through a nightmare of problems recently with some fuel injection stuff. But we're going to tweak this one a little. It's a little rich sometimes. That's the part that's crazy. It's not all the time. It's not consistent. So we're going to play with that a little bit for him. This one's already got the dark tinted windows. Already was a pretty perfected truck, but he does want the AC on it. So that's what we get done. Again, and I just cannot get over. So this is just not your cookie cutter. You guys see a lot of dealers now that are taking brand new trucks and doing stuff to them. That's nothing new. New car dealers have been doing it forever. But they don't go to this level. So I guess that's what I want to point out. This truck here, I have the window sticker where we bought it. And I think it was 109 stock. And a lot of dealers are still getting above sticker for F450s, especially the good colors. The grays, the blues, the popular colors are still bringing over sticker price. So this combination of tires and wheels, which took forever to get the wheels, American Forces, 38-inch brand name tires, not a knockoff tire. Nothing against some knockoff tires, but when you're doing a truck of this level, you don't want knockoff tires. Now, when you start adding tires times 6, if a tire is $300 or $400 cheaper times 6, that is a big number. Fox shocks, the big long 4-link bars, not a drop bracket, an actual 4-link system on the front, the matching PMF bars in the back, the floating traction bars. It is not a cheap combination. And I want to say the ticket on all the upgrades on this truck was about 25 or 26 grand. So now you add those numbers together, you can get the price of this truck. That's how we do it. A lot of places are now taking the truck and marking it up, the equipment and marking it up, and we did add a few other accessories to it that aren't in that price. If you want darker windows, we'll darken the windows. If you want a bed cover, we'll do a bed cover. Bed liner. We did not put a bed liner in this truck because the last few we sold, people wanted the color match liners, and one actually wanted to do a carpet in the bed. It's all in what you want. So we try to do the things that we know people wanted. But just explain that, because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, y'all just took that truck and marked it up. No, we bought the truck. We paid for the truck. We bought the equipment. We paid for the equipment. We paid to professionally put the equipment on. So if you do the math, this is just the way to buy the truck. And then you also, the comment we always get, well, I'll just buy it and do it myself. That's no problem, but you're still going to spend the same amount of money. This way you can get it and drive it home. We used to do this, I'll tell y'all, 2000, our real hot spot was about 2002. We were taking brand new to us. They were not brand new like this with no miles. I think this truck has 300 miles on it now. We were taking very low mileage trucks, putting them in the shop. At the time, Daniel was still in school, so it was mainly Brian, sometimes a helper, and we were doing a truck every day. And we do tires, wheels, lift kit, done. The beauty was of that is you could come in. What are they running over out there? Something keeps clicking. You could come in and drive the truck and make sure, because what if you dropped off your $110,000 truck and put $30,000 worth of stuff on it and hated it? You're stuck with it. It's yours then. Sure, we can lower it, we can raise it, we can change it. But the beauty of doing them this way was, and still is, that you can drive it ahead of time, park it in your garage, whatever the configuration is, and make sure that you're going to be happy with it when you're done. So the reason we still do it today, we don't do one a day like that for the car lot any longer, because the supply and demand of trucks is just too tough, and what people want is just too tough. But I love when we can do one of these and I can drive it home and be on the phone and eating a sandwich and all the stuff I have to do in my couple minutes I have of free time, and a truck of this size. And when I say, guys, size, like, it's a pretty big truck. Those are 38-inch tires. Most guys are doing a leveling kit, tires and wheels. They're cutting the cost in half. The truck looks okay. It doesn't look like this. So that is a beast of a 450. I got a little clip, AJ, I did this morning, first thing. I want you to put that in here. Going across the street, going over a truck that got inspected and checked out. So put that in there, and then we'll go to some other good stuff. So we do have the mega truck. I was going to film it a little bit yesterday, but the rain was so hard, didn't get a chance. But we did get the mega truck out. Had to move it from where I had it parked at so the grass can get cut and some other things. I hate that it sits outdoors, but soon we'll get it inside. And I should have brought the other mega truck. Both of these fit on the trailer together, crazy enough. That tire is about 70 some inches tall, just for a reference. The other mega truck has a right rear tire that goes low. My neighbor Chris said, man, I mean, it's literally sitting on a stump and a cinder block. He said, oh, if you can't swing the cost of a tube, you know, I'll float you alone. It's just the effort of taking that big freaking tire off and having a tube put in it, or putting a tube in it. So we need to do that. That purple car, I just realized we did get it online. I did not think AJ had done that, but we did get it online. So anybody that's been looking at this thing, it's $9,500. We did get it running. It starts, it runs. It actually runs pretty good, and it's got a big block under the hood. Main reason I bought it was because it had a big block under the hood. And if you've done anything with a big block these days, just the cost to get a block and build one is outrageous and expensive and time consuming. So we'd have an extra motor just in case. But it turned out to be kind of a complete car, so it was a shame to take it apart. So that is on the website. Rental rollbacks. Both are serviced up and ready to go. And I think we got both of them with a fresh inspection. So here I'm walking over because I want to show you guys the update on what came back on this cream colored, cream and white. And I'm going to send the customer some pictures. Cream and white square body. And I guess walking in here yesterday in the rain was kind of a blessing, because a rainy day like that in the past would literally just shut things down. We'd have nothing we could do. Everything would be at a standstill. So I kind of walked in here with fresh eyes and were able to look at these trucks a little closer, and it was really refreshing, actually. But this truck, I think it was Friday, customers had a inspector come out and check it out. And then the customer texted me and said, here's the results. He said that there's rust underneath, and he wasn't sure what should be done about the rust. So the tires, and I'm just going over the bad parts. He said, I'll go over the good and the bad. So he said that the truck had a terrible vibration. I don't know if they use the word terrible, but it had a vibration, an excessive vibration, I think is what he said. It had rust, and it needed rotors. So I told the customer, without even coming over and looking, rotors were no big deal. I mean, rotors are cheap, but those are just what normal rotors would look like. You know, rotors are going to rust because that area right there is raw. So after, you know, say a week, that's what they're going to look like. So nothing that really could be done with those. But this customer did also want to do the upgrades. He wants to do the steering and the track bar. So if we're doing all that, putting rotors on it would not be a big deal. Just to pacify things, it's just a dead expense. Throw those rotors in the trash, but they're perfectly fine. And then the rust underneath. So I don't know how good we're going to be able to see here, but I'm going to take him some pictures. At least with photos, we'll have a flash. But I've looked under this truck before. And you can see some little surface rusting. You can also see some cobwebs. But just normal surface rusting. And we didn't paint under this truck because we really didn't need it. And some people are scared of paint. Now the exhaust, we have a high heat paint we use for that. You can just see around the seams a little bit there. You got some rust streaking. Still got the spare tire under the back. And we all know, you probably already answered the question before I said it, but where did the vibration come from? It's in the tires. So I did drive the truck myself just to verify that in between the rainstorm yesterday, because I didn't want to get the truck filthy. And it's the tires. Now they're brand new and they're boggers. And it's not excessive, but if you were jumping into, this guy was in a BMW that came here, you know, so not sure how familiar he was with, you know, lifted trucks. But if you jumped in this and drove it, the excessive woo, 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 you know, the harmonic vibration of a bogger is more than the physical vibration of a bogger. And we tend to get them balanced out very well. So it wasn't hopping all over the road or doing anything silly. So that should take care of that. But I feel like what this truck has, and it's got some rock chips right here, you know, that could be obviously just painted. The texture we use now under these trucks looks really good. So, you know, I'd probably give the customer the option of texture or paint. Again, it's another, we just had a customer come in, it's $1,500 to do the undercarriage with paint or undercoat. Not undercoat, but texture. We just had one done. I showed you guys the video of it. So, and we took track. I actually took the time because I have not really tracked that in a while. What is the material cost? What is the labor cost? You have to steam clean everything very clean first. Knock all the loose stuff off. Sometimes a little sand with a wire brush. And then the coating. And then the coating has to dry. Then we have to look at it again. And sometimes it takes 2 coats. The particular excursion I showed you ended up with 3 coats to make it end up right. But, you know, it's not a problem. We can do it. We can do it to any of the vehicles. Sometimes, when they're obviously frame off, you don't have to do anything because all of it was done while it was apart. Brown Bear needs the frame cleaned up a little bit. But cool truck, and I think that was a pretty good bill of health. So the good things, he said the motor looked great. The truck ran great. There was some other little footnotes. I should have printed the text. And again, I didn't get it from the inspector. I got it from the customer that paid to have it done. So we are looking at a 76 model truck. I think that's a pretty clean bill of health, you know, for what it is. And this truck has been very overlooked because this is an LS. I know I've told the story before, but this particular one went through a very high-end auction. It sold with fees for well in excess of what we're selling it for. And it's a very clean restoration / resto mod with the LS. It's an awesome truck. But when you tell a customer rust, you start thinking about the doors are falling apart and the rocker panels are rusted out. So I think he scared him a little bit, if I had to guess, when he starts talking about rust. But what's underneath this truck, I wouldn't call rust. I don't, you know, some people call it flash rust. We call it surface rust. When I want to start talking about rust, I want to talk about rocker panels rotting out or, you know, physical rot is what I think of with rust. But I guess everybody has a different story. Is it rust? Sure it is. It is. The exhaust tailpipes are nice as far as not rusty because they are probably an aluminized pipe. so they don't rust as much, and the mufflers always get very hot, so we can coat those with some black. I think that's going to be what happens to this one, but long and short of it, that's kind of where we're at. With this particular one, I'll get these customers these pictures. We also have some people that have asked for pictures on the 70, whatever, 1 or 2 pickup truck. Trying to wrap the deal up on the 72 Blazer. Just tell you a long and short story on that one. Customer worked through his lender. I'm saying we're going on almost 2 weeks now. And they want us to jump through all these hoops and sign all these papers. And we did everything we were supposed to do. And then they got to the point where they got really strange. They were in Texas, their lender in Texas, and wanted some stuff that we've never even been asked for before. So we told him that, and he was like, that's weird. I don't know why they're asking for that. They literally wanted him to title and register and pay the tax before he received the vehicle, which means we have to release the title before they would pay us. And he's put a significant amount of money down. So we kind of said, let's roll this back. Let's go through a lender that we have on tap. We'll refer them to you. You see what they come back with. Sure enough, much easier process. Cut the time down. We had to do a photo session with the truck yesterday, which I did. One of the reasons I was over here in the rain. And I think this one's going to wrap up hopefully any day now. So that's pretty good. So AJ was out yesterday. He'll be back in today, and he's going to be overwhelmed getting caught up with a few new trucks that have come in. And we are waiting on some stuff to tighten up the steering column in this truck here. Unfortunately, it needed a little bit more than what we anticipated, but then that one can go home. What a good-looking truck. Looks beautiful sitting over here. We did a little clip with this truck running, and you guys went absurd. Matter of fact, I had another couple customers come in to look at some of the other black trucks that we have when they saw this particular one. Just that black and silver is sharp. And we did lower this truck down. This truck was a much, much larger truck. But it turned out great. All right, get the rest of the day going. Little shop update for some of the trucks that you guys have seen that have come and gone. The 87 Blue, which crazy enough, the man came to buy this truck. You remember that, AJ? He came here to write the check to buy that truck, and the people had spoken for it an hour ahead of time. So he bought the red truck that I showed y'all earlier. He loves it because he was going to lift this one, so he bought one that was done. But he did come to buy this truck. Matter of fact, you got him the 71 out that same day. He was between the 71, this one, and that one. And this one went off the plate. And I forgot the 71. The AC wasn't working right or something? The AC. It was hot. It was a hot day. The AC wasn't working. So he bought a truck without AC, but in the deal, made sure that the AC was part of the deal. So that worked out okay. This truck has disappeared a little bit. It had a moderate punch list, but even a moderate punch list takes time to do. It had a tank bracket that was just in bad shape. And it's crazy because the rest of the truck's in great shape. But that bracket, for some reason, was terrible. So we sourced a bracket, put a new bracket under the fuel tank. We've got the doors and windows apart currently because it's getting new glass. So if you guys ever think that you can't replace glass, we can still get glass. The glass comes tinted, clear, or green, and not all those options are available. So in this particular one, we're putting glass in it, putting new rubbers and seals in it because somebody used a really cheap aftermarket set of, you can see right here how they kind of all puckered, and I mean, some stuff's just not that great, even out the box brand new. And this is one of those cases. So we're putting a new set of, if John doesn't run over us. John's funny. And we're putting new seals around the windows. So we're getting that knocked out. He also wanted a bed cover. He got a bed cover. There's a couple spots underneath of it that when this truck was taken apart, it was restored. It's not an original. And it was a couple spots under it that the paint wasn't as perfect. So we touched that stuff up a little better. I think it got a sensor under the hood. It got an oil change. What else was it, AJ? You actually worked with these people as well. Yeah, they're tight. They were really, really. So that was the main thing. And then one of them had some really bad gouges. And if you tint windows that are all gouged up, then you end up with still gouged up windows that the tint makes it look worse. We did some other service work, yes. There was a couple other things that TJ did. So almost ready, like really, really, really close to ready. These people are going to drive this one stock, even though everything they currently had looked at to buy was lifted. The wife's dad had almost this identical truck. So he is, or she is, and the husband is just cool because they got old pictures of it. So they're going to rock it for a little while stock, and then I have a feeling they'll be in for lift and accessories and everything. Where did John go? Maybe he's just turning around. I don't know. He went across the road. I thought he was working over here. Oh, well. Anyway, whatever he wants to do. We let John, he's been coming here for, well, we found some good pictures of John. We're not going to be able to dig them up for this video, but we'll find them. John was once young, like all of us, 30 some years ago when he started doing stuff here. This truck's almost finished. It needs a really good cleaning. This particular customer, we usually clay bar his vehicles for him. He puts them in basically a museum when he buys them from us, so they stay really clean. So Alvin will be clay barring this one. Speaking of the windows, we spent an immense amount of time getting these windows tinted to be right because the 70s model trucks, this is a 69, the glass, there's just something about it, and the window tint does not work well sometimes. So this one, it turned out great. Knock on wood, it did really, really good. So he's going to be happy with that truck. AC got put on it, everything works great, and starts up, runs. Mild, almost stock motor, maybe stock. That will not be in there for long. He'll be upgrading it, but pretty cool. Box truck. Big old box truck, set up for a lawn service. AJ just got this one online. It is 20 grand. It is a diesel. It does have the ramps on the back. So this would be awesome. Actually, you could use it for some side-by-sides and stuff, or transport, moving truck, whatever. Yeah, because roll a dolly up it. It'd be really good for that. So it's got a dovetail back. They're obviously originally designed for, say, lawnmowers, tractors, stuff like that. You can put a small lawn tractor in there too, and keep it out of the weather, and keep it locked. It's got a storage box on the side. It's got a side door entry on this side. This was a locally owned truck. The ramps here usually are in bad shape. These ramps are in good shape. They've been recently painted and coated, but normally these things are falling all to pieces. Side entry door, and it's a cab over diesel. And I don't think it's got a lot of miles. What's the miles? Under 100. Yeah, under 100. In the 90s. So if you're looking for something for a moving truck or just a general box truck or whatever, that's a good one. I think we also will get John to put trim on the black truck today, hopefully. We shall see. And I want to also give a shout out to our local police officers. We still can't really tell you guys because I hadn't gone to court yet, but there was a situation, and we handled part of it ourselves. Well, we handled most of it ourselves, but the police had to be involved because there was an arrest, and I can't elaborate on much else. We haven't gone to court yet. So, but I do want to, I had a police officer text me earlier today, which reminds me, I don't know where my phone is, that he needed an access for one of my properties. They're doing a crime investigation. They have to go through a piece of my property. They needed permission. Absolutely, no problem at all. I'm happy to do that. But it's so nice when you have that kind of communication. A lot of people are fearful of the police. The people that are fearful of the police probably have a reason to be fearful of the police. If you don't have anything to hide, you're not doing anything wrong, the police are not bad people. Yes, the internet and the news blows things out of proportion. I'm not saying there's not some bad ones out there, but we're really fortunate for our law enforcement around here. If you do something stupid, you win stupid prizes, obviously. And also our farmers. Come back to that again too. This weekend, it came up again, something about farming, because I was moving some of the tractors around, and I said, my grandfathers were farmers, and somebody made a joke that I'm not a farmer, and I'm like, well, you know, I plant some crops, you know, and put some stuff in the ground. I mean, what's the amount that makes you become a farmer? But in doing that and hooking up stuff and moving stuff around and planting stuff and fertilizer and irrigation and And not all farmers do crops. Some farmers do cows and animals and livestock, and we've got farmers all alike that do all the above. Shout out to you guys. Fixing fences, getting up early, dealing with stuff late. It's I know it's a hard job, and I don't think you guys get enough credit for it. And I thoroughly appreciate each and every customer, because when they start talking about stuff, I'm just intrigued, because I guess in another life I wanted to be a farmer. So I've got the utensils to be a farmer. I don't have the time or the patience to be a farmer, but maybe we'll just plow this up, AJ, and plant crops here and have a nursery and a garden and some cows out back. County doesn't like us selling cars one day, then we'll just go to making this a big old farm. Small farm, not a big farm. Yeah, it'd be okay. Yeah, we can go back there. We had the animals back there. I do want to have a giraffe. If we have a farm, that'd be more like having a zoo.
Just like the dude on Hangover.
We got all the bucket trucks moved around to the point. We had 2 of them yesterday that had some issues when we were trying them out and using them. We got those in place to get taken care of. American flags flying. It's a great day. We're going to get things wrapped up for the video. That don't mean we're wrapping it up for the day, because we got a lot to do. But thanks, guys, for your support as always. We really appreciate it. We'll be back at you guys tomorrow.